What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys, with the final part of the Love and Marriage Huntsville reunion. So this is part 3. Now, before we go ahead and get into this video, you guys, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on this channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I'll need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and then having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's go ahead and discuss this episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville Reunion Part 3. Shall we? All right, you guys. So for me, like I've said plenty of times before, this is the end of the road for me when it comes to Love and Marriage Huntsville. I know that they've been renewed for season 7. I won't be reviewing it, but yeah, check out other YouTubers who review it. I do know Tammy Talk says she's going to continue to review it. I believe the Bell Perspective may continue to review it. I don't know about Shayna, but yeah, check those. If I don't know about Shayna, she may not. I don't know, but if in any event any of them continue, check them out. Like I said, I know for a fact that Tammy is going to continue with it, but so check them out. But as for me, it's a wrap, you guys. I just gotta be done with it. The show doesn't move. The storylines stay the same, so it is what it is. So I'm going to try to keep this review to a minimum of 15 minutes. I hope I don't go over 15 minutes. But part 3 of the reunion, I feel like that some of the things that we discussed in part 3 of the reunion, we definitely could have discussed in part 2, like the Nell Fletcher and Chris storyline. We could have done that in part 2 because they joined us in part 2, but we didn't talk about them in part 2. They were just sitting on the stage. And let's go ahead and wrap up the one thing that I feel like should not have carried over. Mel and Miss Betty. That should not have carried over. One, because Miss Betty was just looking for a moment, and fortunately or unfortunately, they gave Miss Betty what she wanted. And like I said, Miss Betty absolutely 100% wanted a moment. Mel kind of paid her dust, but Mel was still giving it to Miss Betty. And I don't have an issue with that. Miss Betty is a fan of the show. We can see that. And I don't need to see Miss Betty ever again, period. That's all I gotta say. We talked about Mel and Stormy, and Stormy's talking about how she still likes Mel, but what it is with her and Mel, she don't want an issue to be there with them because Miss Betty doesn't like Mel. And Miss Betty said, I don't. And I was like, ma'am, we don't care. And Mel was like, okay, that's fine that you don't like me. I don't know you well enough to like you or not. And I was like, thank you, Mel. Just once again, pay Miss Betty the absolute of dust. I was just like, God, would they get this woman off my television screen? Then we talked about Junior and Stormy. Junior no longer works for Stormy. He's a manager of a restaurant, but Stormy wishes that he was a manager at Canvas. I don't really care. We talked about Miss Betty and Miss Lisa. I guess they still in the same predicament that they were when we saw them on the show. Again, don't care at all. That's it. Now, like I said, next up we had Nell and Chris join the reunion stage for the second time. But this time we're talking about their storyline. Nell was reluctant to join Love and Marriage Huntsville, and she was reluctant to join because of how her family life is, right? She says that she and Chris Jr., they do talk now, and when it comes down to money, she doesn't ask the kids for the money. She just tell them, hey, give it to me when you get it back, because she says Chris doesn't like to be called out. God, I have nothing to say about that. We also talked about them not being a part of the Black Business Expo, and it made no sense. I mean, it makes no sense, the logic that Letitia wants to come with, the fact that Okay, she said she didn't know what Nell did. That's fine. I don't care. But you know that Chris is in real estate. You know, and obviously your husband knew that he had a cleaning company. So I think that's a BS excuse, right? Then she said it was supposed to be just the core six. Okay, I'm fine with it being just the core six, but obviously it wasn't just the core six if you guys called up Stormy and asked Stormy to be a part of it. So that's not 100% true. Because even Carlos said, well, Stormy wasn't a part of the original six, but she says, you know, me and Stormy talked, and I know that Stormy is a business owner. I was like, okay, Letitia, I don't care. Marceau wants to say the fact that Chris didn't tell him that Nell had her business, he felt like Chris was keeping it from him and Chris was being sexist. I was like, ain't that the pot calling the kettle black? Okay, it is what it is. You guys will tell me what you think and feel, and I'm going to pause here and move forward. Next, and again, what I've said a few minutes ago, is this reunion, the editing was so all over the place because at one point in the reunion, we, Carlos asked Letitia when they met up with Nell and Chris, why did Letitia ask about their infidelity? And Letitia was like, well, you guys, if you've been watching me for the last 6 seasons, you guys know how transparent I am. And it ended right there. That's all Letitia says, how transparent she is, and nothing else came from it. I was like, did I miss something? I was like, wait a minute, I feel like I missed something. And then Carlos is asking Nell, how did she find out that Chris was cheating on her? She said someone else told her. He said, oh, the other woman came to you. She said, I don't think another woman would come to me and tell me that. And then after that, he asked Chris, did he sleep with was he with multiple women? He said, no, it was just one woman. Then he asked them if they separate, and they said yes for 18 months. So that's the connection between Melody, Martell, and the Fletchers, right? And Nell says that when she looks at Martell, she saw Chris in him because Chris was cocky, arrogant, and the clothes and all that kind of stuff. I was like, well, never mind. I'm going to keep my little opinion to myself about that. But I was just like, I feel like these 3-part reunions this year, because Love and Marriage and Bell Collective, they've done 3-part reunions, and I didn't understand why they've done it. I get it, one, that the season was longer, but a longer season doesn't justify a 3-part reunion when they're not really given a whole lot to delve into. But hey, it is what it is, right? So after that, we move on and talk about Houston, right? And Carlos asked the question of Martell, who was the lady that came into the house late at night? Martell says it was a masseuse. And I was like, unless she's a hood masseuse, even what Melody said, where was her table at? Because he was like, my bed. She massaged me in my bed. We know she massaged you in your bed. He says he didn't have sex with her. He said, he didn't know the woman's name. I was like, that's even worse. So you just allegedly you brought a random lady into the house who you didn't know her name. You said you got a massage from her. You didn't ask to see her license. So this woman could have come into the house and did God knows what to you and your friends. Could have done God knows what. Could have robbed y'all. Could have unalived y'all. But okay, Marcel, you want me to believe that? I don't. It's a woman that you absolutely knew, but okay, cool. Or somebody that I don't know. Maybe it was somebody that was in your DMs. I have no idea. I don't really care, to be quite honest with you. If we're going to be 1,000% with each other, I don't give a fuck. So his ego was also bruised, right? Because they played the package when Melody said she was married to a man who never made her come. Cap! You said that on camera? You said that on television? Yes, she did. Martell's ego was, like I said, 1,000% bruised. Now, at one point, so Nell was offended that Martell brought the woman, right? Kimmy was like, man, I didn't really care. And then she said, but Mel, didn't you get a massage? I was like, what does that got to do with anything, Kimmy? Yeah, y'all know how I feel about Kimmy. Y'all know I like Kimmy, but I was like, Dad, okay, I guess, whatever. And then this is where I started to drift off and stop paying attention to the reunion because Melody and Martell started arguing again. He told her, don't call him a liar. I was like, but if the shoe fits, wear it, sir. So we'll pause here, you guys, and we're going to wrap up. So yeah, Melody and Martell, they're arguing once again. He's telling her, don't call me a liar. She is calling him a liar, which he is. And he's, I mean, like, what you want me to do, Carl? What you want me to do with this? What you want me to do with this, sir? I'm bored. I was I was bored last night watching that shit. But then what else happened? He can't keep his lies straight about Melody cheating. He cannot keep his lies straight about the cheating. So because Carlos asked her how far into the marriage was it that Melody cheated. He said, 6, 7 years. And Mel was like, so 2014, 2015? He's like, so you're admitting you cheated. No, she's not admitting she's cheating, yo jackass. She's asking your dumbass a question. Because you're saying 6 years, 6 or 7 years into the marriage. So so she was saying to you, so you're saying that I cheated on you in 2014, 2015, right? Okay. Because she knew what 6 and 7 years was into the marriage. She knows when y'all got like Martell. Please stop playing with me. Then this fool, so when I forgot to mention, when Kimmy brought up the fact that Melody had a masseuse, she said, yes, I did have a masseuse. It was a woman. And she was like, but I also, whenever I go on a trip, and she told Martell, don't take my answer. She said, so whenever I go on a trip, there's an app called Zelle, Zeel, right? And you can book a massage. You can choose you can choose man or woman. You can choose how long you want the massage, and they'll come out. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And Marcel was like, yeah, that's what I did, Zelle. And Marcel was like, he's thinking about Zelle. I was like, exactly. And he said, he tripped himself up at one point because Carlos said, so an hour is all you need, or something, or hour and a half, or something, is all you need. He said, yeah, get the job done. Well, she got the job done. You said it right the first time, sir. You got the job done. That's it, you guys. With that, I don't care. If I miss anything with that, I do not give a fuck. Y'all can leave it down in the comment section. Let's pause here and finally wrap this shit up. Y'all, we got to deal with Kiki one more time. I'm finna breeze through this because what I will say is I do feel like Kiki lies to protect herself. I do. And Letitia, I don't know. At this point, I just feel like we're beating a dead horse with a stick at this point. You can clearly tell that Letitia's over the conversation. You can clearly tell that Letitia's over Kiki. Kiki talking about she goes for the jugular. Girl, okay. Now, but when they go for the jugular with you, never mind. I don't care. I will say that I do respect the fact that if Letitia don't want her in her life, that's Letitia's business. But I did hear in Letitia's voice when she was talking, she was fighting back tears because you could hear it in her voice. Her voice was cracking. Kiki, let's be real. You may not, like you said that it was always that Letitia was supposed to bring you on the show. If that was the case, then when you came on the show, why did you go after your cousin? And I'm gonna repeat this. I'm gonna say this for the last time. Like when we first met Kiki, she was coming at Kimmy at that graduation party. But now y'all got this whole beef with y'all. I don't care if they want to work it. If they want to work it out, fine. If they don't, I don't give a fuck. But yeah, that's it, you guys. I don't care if I missed anything. If I did or didn't, that's the reunion. If you guys, we can discuss it in the comment section below. But that is all I got. Like I said, I want to give you 15 minutes, and I'm nearing my 15 minutes, you guys. So be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and share the video, you guys. And until the next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys for something else, but it damn sure won't be Love and Marriage Huntsville. I'll actually see you guys next Saturday for Love and Marriage DC, possibly. Not sold on that one either, but I'll see you guys for that, probably. Bye, guys. Woo, we did 15 minutes.